I'm here with my kindred spirit. I feel like I've known her forever. It is the amazing Ash Costello from New Year's Day. I'm telling you, I feel like I know you forever because whenever I'm Zooming with some woman in rock, they're always like, and Ash Costello says, and Ash Costello told me, and my good friend Ash Costello. So like, I know you're a super cool chick because everybody sort of gravitates to you as kind of the metal like mother earth mother of music. So it is such a pleasure to meet you and see you. I want to jump through the screen and give you and your pumpkin a big giant hug.
Oh, yeah. It's never too early. He's year round. It's never too early to start decorating for Halloween.
Never too early. First of all, you look amazing.
Thank you. I got dressed up for you today.
I love it. That you're a rock star. This is what a rock star does. A rock star gets dressed up and a rock star is doing the interview. And I love that.
This is just my pajamas. This is just, I woke up. This is my pajama choker.
I would not be surprised if those were your jams. So the first new tune in 3 years, blowing me away. And I'll tell you why, because I feel like every record, it's like the Metal Massacre, and then we just get that nice little poppy, hooky sensibility. But every record gives me a little bit more of that. So talk to me about this record and how you put it together, because I heard there's a lot of tunes being written at this point for you guys.
So we're about halfway through the album right now, and through COVID, I had been touring basically for six solid years, hardcore straight. We're talking like 8 months out of the year, never home for my birthday, miss my mom all the time, miss my dogs. I kind of took COVID as I was relieved, honestly. And I think I needed to rest and I needed to stop. And I'm not the kind of person that would ever do it on my own. I would need like some sort of natural disaster to get me to actually stop and rest, which is
right.
Exactly what happened. And so I took my time, I let life happen to me and I got married. And so now I have nothing, at least romantic relationship wise, to be angry about anymore, which is predominantly what used to inspire my songwriting. And so I tapped into something else that I never had before. And it was a positivity and a hopefulness that I was starting to feel like reveal itself in me finally after so many years of just kind of surviving, which is totally what I was doing. I was just on survival mode. And the music reflect that, especially on Unbreakable. I mean, I look back and there's some guitar riffs on there where I definitely was expressing my unhappiness and my anger with those guitar riffs, particularly on a song called Unbreakable, because it's almost unlistenable because it's so heavy and ugly and angry. And so we've now switched to a really positive, happy, energetic, full of life sound. And I can't believe I've even made it to this point in my life, let alone like musically, because I just never
but still not losing that heavy vibe. I remember the first time I saw you was probably a Warped tour.
Yeah.
And here's what I got. And I mean this in the most positive way. I got the, holy God, what the hell is this? Where you have that epiphany moment where you're just kind of like, wow, this is incredible that this woman is out there doing this. So yeah, I mean, we didn't lose any of that heaviness, but we still get these really nice, chunky hooks. And this song I think is masterful. I think it's your best yet.
Thank you. I feel that way too, which is also, I'm very self-deprecating, as I feel like every artist is, and I'm no exception. I'm very self-deprecating. I'm like, oh, it's not that good. It could be better. But I don't feel that way. It's fucking good. And
it is so good. And you should feel that. I love that. I love that. See, and this is why I can see that you needed that little COVID break, because you sort of then get that love again for what you did, and you start to miss it and you start to appreciate it more. I think we all go through that. I certainly have been through that in my career, where you start to get that appreciation for the thing that you were attracted most about what you love doing. And when you're working and that machine is going all the time. And look, you absolutely, you were on tour constantly and doing everything.
Yeah.
headlining smaller places, playing big arenas, playing all of the giant festivals. I would see you guys on every single bill everywhere. No doubt about it. You guys were supposed to be on the first Rock the Rock Fest for us that
Yeah.
we announced back in 2019 that finally just it just happened
Oh my
this
God.
year. I mean, it's crazy.
That
You
is
know, and we
crazy.
had some juggling of the bill and everything, but yeah, you guys just never stopped. You were everywhere all the time.
Dude, I don't even I look back and I'm like, how did I do it? Because concerts is one thing. I was hosting red carpets. I was hosting television shows.
Yes, you
I
were.
I
Yeah.
was doing so many sponsorships. I was doing sponsorships with Hot Topic. I was doing I mean, you name it, I found a minute to do it. And I was happy to do it, but I didn't realize I was really kind of digging my grave, so to speak. I was dying. I think I just everything else was falling apart. They say like if your career starts to do really good, then if everything else falls apart, that means you're doing good in your career.
Right.
That's totally what's
Right.
happening. I was literally in horrible health, and my relationship at the time was a disaster, and I was homeless, and not in like a poor me way. It's just I was so busy. What was the point?
Yeah, right.
Point.
No home base, no home base. And I think you need a home base, even if you're not there a lot. But living out of a suitcase is so difficult because you just need sort of a refuge to go to and to be at, and to know that you're striving to go back there. Like, yeah, in 3 weeks I'll be home, or in 4 weeks I'll be home. So yeah, it's
I
really
didn't
hard. I know
realize.
you're an animal lover too, so that's got to be hard for you to
Oh
leave
my god.
everything kind of behind. And
That's the biggest heartbreak. I would literally cry. My mom would send me a video of my dog, and I would just cry because I he they're dogs, they don't know, and I would wonder, like, what does he think happened to me? Where do you think I went?
he thinks
I
I
have,
just left him. Yeah.
I have 2 senior dogs, so every time I leave, I always, like, have that little thought, like, "Oh god, please just make it until I get back home," and
I get it.
yeah,
I get it.
I have a 13 and a 14-year-old.
I get it. I get it. I just lost my 16-year-old, and it literally is just like I wake up every day and I'm like, so I totally get it. So talk to me about writing and the inspiration for writing. Now, have you been writing with Scott Stevens? Did I read that? Because he's
Not even.
such people don't realize, and people go, oh, the X's, they were such a great band. But let me tell you, I mean, what an amazing songwriter he is. He's worked with everyone. And I feel like when he writes with females, which isn't always the easiest thing to do, he really knows how to kind of get that out of you.
That's why all the women are gravitating towards him. Some people have different gifts for different things, and he has the gift of speaking a woman's language. He really
Hmm.
does. And when you meet him, you just know. Like I've worked with at least probably nearly 100 songwriters over a span of a decade, and
Wow.
when you meet Scott Stevens, you, at least in my opinion, and from what I can gather from the other women that he's worked with, you just like connect. You feel comfortable. You feel very open, very free, very safe. And that's why I keep going back to him. Our first radio success we ever had was on our last record, and it was a song called Shut Up. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was the producer and songwriter of that song.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. He worked
Got it.
recently on the Dorothy record, Gifts from the Holy Ghost, which
Dorothy, Lilith,
phenomenal. Yep.
Lizzie, Maria.
Lilith, I think he did some stuff
Yeah, he did
with Lilith
King.
Czar.
He did
Wow.
King with Lilith. I know he's done a bunch of her
Yeah.
songs, but King I know is one of the biggest ones. And so he and I work together in the way where I'll come into the studio and we have it just down now. Like we get each other. It's easy. I'll come and he goes, "How do you feel today?" And I was like, "I feel chaotic," or "I feel fearless. Today I feel fearless. I feel like I can do anything." And we go from there. And it's so cathartic and therapeutic, and I always leave feeling like weightless almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Having
Yeah.
someone who gets you and doing something as personal as songwriting.
Yeah,
Um,
that's hard. It's
That's
hard to
hard.
get
That's a needle in a haystack moment. That is a needle in a haystack moment to find that person. So when does the tour kick off? Now, when are you leaving with Lizzie? And I think the Warning is also on the tour with
yeah.
you. Yeah. Oh, what a
We're at
bill.
I know, I've never played with The Warning, so I'm very excited. We have some sprinkled dates in between there. I'm gonna get to play with Dorothy, who I've never shared the stage with. I was
Ooh,
so
phenomenal.
excited, so excited. And then we've got 1 or 2 dates with Lilith, who I have shared the stage with. So I'm very excited to see her again.
Love her, love her, love her. I love everything about her. My God, she's such a great performance artist and she's so passionate about everything she does. We've had her on
She's the real
2
deal.
WDHA shows recently, and I just love hanging out with her. She's amazing. I'm always bringing her something like, here's some makeup, or here's some, like,
Oh,
I'm
that's
always bringing her something because I adore her. Like,
That's
she's
so
just the
weird.
coolest.
That's weird that you say that because I always send her clothes ideas, and I don't do that with everybody. But there's something about her. Maybe you feel it too. I feel like I know what she is and what she likes. So if I see like a pair of shoes or a jacket, I'm like, oh, this is so
Right.
good.
We had a new client, Rock and Roll Beauty, and they have a Def Leppard collection and a Jimi Hendrix collection of
That's
all this
cool.
amazing, beautiful, phenomenal cosmetics. And the first time I was meeting her, I said, you know what? I'm going to put together a goodie bag for her. And because I think she would really
She just
appreciate it.
has
So
that vibe.
yeah,
Like,
she
not
just has that
every-
vibe. So I gave her the Hendrix collection. Then I saw her at another show and I'm like, I've got the Def Leppard collection for you now too. So yeah, you just want to like give her things and do things for her. And she's just like, and she's so fun and open and wild and just has that great personality. She's such a good hang.
I gotta say, a very genuine person, and
Yeah.
she's been another shoulder for me in some of my most darkest times.
Hmm.
Very, very, very giving, very thoughtful person. Like
Yeah.
on the real. Like
Yeah.
really, really good people. And I feel so very blessed when you say things like, they all mention my name in their circle because I have this saying. It's like keep the people around you who would say your name in a room that you're not standing in, and it makes me feel so lucky and blessed that I stand in a circle with such powerful women. Like, how fucking cool is that?
Yeah, the coolest, the
It
coolest.
really
And it's
is.
such a good time right now, too. I think it's such a great time to be a woman in music because in the past, it's not like there wasn't anyone. Well, there certainly were women,
Yeah.
but not all are able to get heard. And I feel like if you've got that talent now, it's sort of undeniable. So it's very nice. I think that rock has kind of opened up the doors and said, you know what? Come on in. And here's what I love. We're not getting the hailstorm bill with you on it here in New Jersey.
I
We just
know.
had it with Lilith and the Warning, but and the Pretty Reckless. So we had this great female bill
Wow,
and it
what
was
a
our big
lineup.
summer show. It was phenomenal. But I love that nobody sounds like anybody. Lilith doesn't sound like the Warning, and the Warning doesn't sound like Hailstorm, and Hailstorm doesn't sound like the Pretty Reckless, and you don't sound like Dorothy, and nobody sounds like Plush, and everybody has their own unique, distinct, amazing thing that they're doing. I just recently discovered this new band, Thunder Mother. Have you seen these ladies out of
Oh,
Sweden?
now that I haven't heard of.
Check them out. Female
Good.
ACDC. And then when people say, oh, well, why would you compare them to anybody? Because I want people to check out who a female ACDC would be. Young ladies,
I think that's fine.
jamming, very cool.
I've never minded the comparison deal. I think compare me to an awesome, amazing, iconic, legendary band. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like the comparison thing.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
always thought
so
of you as this like amazing metal queen pop princess. Is that?
thank
Yeah.
you. I've always wanted to be metal Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I love that metal Lady Gaga. I think I said to
Like a metal Katy Perry. And I have strived for that. And I feel like I'm finally figuring out what that means to me.
yeah,
Finally.
yeah.
I think Hurts Like Hell's a really good example of that. I just didn't want to overthink it. There's not a lot of words in that song. And someone made a comment the other day, like, there's like no words in the song. I'm like, good, good.
Yeah.
I'm sick of over explaining shit. Like,
Yeah,
I'm done.
do we need words in every song?
I'm
No,
done.
we want to rock, we want to jam. It's self-explanatory. And you know what it is too? It's fun. It's just a really
Exactly.
fun, amazing, cool tune. And you're such a fun, amazing, cool lady. I can't wait to see you in Jersey. So I'm going to hold you to this. When I know you're sort of East Coastin' and you're in my neck of the woods, we're going to do something. We're going to do a show. We'll do something
I would love
local
that.
for a rescue.
I
We'll
would
like,
love
I would love to do something with you.
That would be awesome. We need to think about, I don't even have to be there physically, whenever, if the idea ever dawns on you and I can do like a fundraiser online, just let me know. I've done them for Rock and Roll Rescue, Motley Zoo, Boomer's Buddies, and Hand and Paw are my go-tos. And now Rock and Rough. And now Rock and Rough.
Oh, thank you so much. And that's so awesome. It's so nice to see that you're so involved with such a cool
Oh,
cause like
dude, if
that.
I could take them all, I would just take them myself.
Don't you feel like that too?
Yeah, and it's hard for me too while traveling. Not so much now. There's not really so many pet stores anymore, but we used to swing by pet stores and try and get dogs taken out of the pet stores. Like we would reach out to fans, or several occasions where we actually bought the dogs ourselves, took them out of the pet store, and then would find fans in that city that wanted to adopt them.
Yeah.
Always broke my heart because I wanted to keep them myself, but I was always told no by my tour manager and my band and everybody who
There's
felt
just not enough room on the bus for everyone, Ash.
my dream to have a bus dog someday.
Oh man. Well,
Someday.
definitely if you come by the station, I will make sure that we have a plethora of dogs to
Oh,
hang
yeah.
out with you. So wait, give me like a little bit of when are we thinking full new record? Are you looking that far? I know there's like 30 songs written, like a crazy amount of songs written. So are we looking maybe 6 months? Are we looking in the new year? Are we looking end of year? Any idea?
I don't feel fully done yet. Um, I want to get back into the studio and write for the rest of the year. I still have some more things I feel like I need to say, and then we're gonna wrap it up end of the year, and we're hoping springtime.
Nice, nice. And you know
Yeah,
what I love too? The one thing I think that COVID has done for artists is people are releasing music the way that they're inspired to release it.
yeah,
Some
it's
people are
true.
like, we're doing a full record. I want it to be sequenced and top to bottom. And this is what I feel comfortable with. Then I've had other artists that are like, I could care less. I'm doing 2 songs. Then maybe in 3 months, I'll do one more song. Then
Yeah,
maybe I'll do 4 more songs, or maybe I won't do any songs. Like, I love that. I feel like people have the freedom to be able to release. And I think we're
it's not
getting
as
better
rigid.
music because of it.
It's not as rigid anymore, and I think
Yes.
you're getting more killer and less filler. You're just
Yes.
not trying to just kind of get us one whole package done. Like, I love the way Hailstorm did it. I love that they put out Back from the Dead without having the album done. And perhaps if they hadn't done that, I don't know if I would have felt okay doing it as well. I probably would have felt a little bit of anxiety, like I was forgetting something,
Yep.
releasing a song without having an album done. But it obviously worked out very well for them. So I feel comfortable to kind of go that same route.
Ash, you are a gem. I love you. It was so wonderful to get to know you and
Love
hang
you
with you.
too.
Thanks for joining me on Reconnect with Rockers. It was awesome.
I cannot wait till I'm in Jersey and we can hang out in person, because actually I looked you up and you looked so damn familiar. I was going to ask you if or where we had met before, because if you had asked me, I would have bet $1 million we had met.
It's the kindred thing.
I
It's
don't
the
know.
kindred spirit thing.
There's
Someone you feel
something.
you've known before.
I
Um,
definitely feel like we've met before.
yeah, absolutely. Love you.
Love you too.
And
Thank
I'm
you so
so
much.
glad my dogs behaved and didn't embarrass the shit out of me when I was talking to you.
You know what? It wouldn't have bothered me any, because it's shocking that mine aren't doing the same thing.
DHA's Reconnect with Rockers is powered by Harris Lock Company, your full-service locksmith, and Dover Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram on Route 46 in Rockaway.